in the Shield final, and Russia had the better of that one. And here are the two lineups for Portugal. Ararito, Esteves, Mendes and Moreira will give power up front. Guedes, the number 6, will be the playmaker with Pedro Leal on the bench. For Russia, well, they're without Denis Simplakevich, their big number 11. He starts from the bench in this one. Look to Sozanov for some cutting edge out wide. But the bigger picture of this game is, of course, the race to avoid relegation. Russia come into the Paris event 4 points ahead of Portugal on the overall series standings. So the Portuguese will be trying to score more points at this tournament and next week in London to try and haul in Russia and preserve their core nation status. So high stakes rugby here for Portugal and for Russia. There is Pool A, New Zealand and Kenya with 2 wins each, so Russia and Portugal will be in the bowl tomorrow. But this game's all about seedings now, trying to set up a more straightforward bowl quarter-final tomorrow morning. Ben Krause is your referee from this one. He is from South Africa. And alongside me is Rob Vickerman. Plenty to play for here, Rob.
Good.
Very much so. Case of seedings, as you mentioned, trying to avoid the bigger teams that could well be in the pool, likes of USA, possibly Canada, looking at England as well. So avoid those at all costs.
Russia get this one underway, and Esteves is underneath it. So crucial, Esteves. So Portugal's fortunes whenever they play a sevens game. Vastly experienced. That pass just a bit heavy there, and that's come off the chest of Guedes and gone to ground. So a chance for Russia. Here's Sozanov. Sozanov is wrapped up by Fernandez. Gayson. Zivatov gives it across to Babayev, Mikhail Babayev. And here's Lazarenko. Filatov plays scrum half, passes off the deck. Russia with a bit of space on the right here. Here's the captain, Herman Davidov. Almost breaks the line, looks for the offload. And Sozanov will shift it once again. Filatov now, across to Babayev. Russia maintaining possession well in the early stages of this game, but penalty decision goes against Portugal, and they go quickly, Russia. Numbers on the right, here's Sozanov. Sozanov, and Sozanov will dip under the covering tackle of Fernandez, and it's Russia who draw first blood here in Paris.
Patient build-up from the Russians, passing accuracy high. Sozanov picking off weak defenders as they're running laterally, can't quite finish off the tackle. Esteves there. Sozanov, as he's done for the whole day, he's really kind of inspired this Russian performance, trying to make sure if they do get any inroads, it's usually from that man there. Tough ask without the Bash brothers, Ostrushko and Simplakevich. Hopefully he can come on an impact, but very much looking a different team without Ostrushko, who is single-handedly almost their most lethal weapon.
Alexander Yaneshkin there, player coach, not playing here in Paris this weekend, the little man, but he's crucial to a lot of what Russia do. Good start for them. They lead 7-0 against Portugal. As the ball is sent high, and under that is Filatov, and he wins it back for the team in red. Here's Gayson. Gayson's found some space in behind. He's looking around, looking for support, but chooses to take the tackle and go to ground. And Filatov again. Sozanov gives it off to Babayev. Mikhail Babayev stands in the tackle and still going. And the captain, Herman Davidov, can he get a second? Offloads to Sozanov, and it's Sozanov who'll run around for Russia's second try.
Sozanov hanging out wide on the right-hand side. Biding opportunity again, just playing with the defence in the middle. If there's space in front of you, you just take it, keep going, back yourself. Create the breakdown. Sozanov spare, manages to get a few more yards across near the posts. Scores for Russia.
Coaching staff look on. Difficult start for Portugal. They had the first possession of the game, but coughed it up with a knock-on, and since then it's been all Russia. And 2 tries as the conversion goes wide. They've got a 12 points to 0 lead now, and we talked about the battle to avoid relegation. Portugal 4 points behind Russia on the standings. And they need to try and pick up more points here in Paris and London next week, as they endeavour to preserve their core nation status. Russia take the restart once again. Filatov gets up highest, but it's come down for Portugal. Chance for them, but good work at the breakdown from Russia once again, and they've turned it over. And here's Davidov, the captain, once again. He's had a good half so far, has Sozanov running a good line there. Filatov swings it wide. Portuguese defence holding firm for the moment. Lazarenko. Here's Davidov, the captain. One of the taller players in the Russian team, and they retain possession well once again. Here's Zivatov. Zivatov to Mikhail Babayev. And that one's gone forward off a Russian hand. And Portugal have a chance now to try and get out of their half. It's all been entirely in Portugal's half this game. Here's Esteves. Can he get something going? Yes, he can. He gets the offload out of the tackle. Esteves with a huge underarm swing of a pass out to Nuno Guedes. The crowd love that one. And can that get them firing? Portugal. That offload goes to Deck. Guedes cleans up his own mistake. Sneaky little hand in the ruck there, and the officials didn't miss that one, Rob.
A shame we didn't get a score from that. Olympic sport it soon will be, but Esteves there could well have been thrown a discus. That was ridiculous.
Risky stuff from Esteves, but it came off. And Portugal now, for the first time in the match, are into Russia's half, and they have broken clean through. And Carl Murray will score their first try, and that's crucial.
It is Carl Murray scoring a great time, a little bit of possession. You've seen it all important in a game of sevens, having the ball, but unless you do something with it, a la this 65-metre underarm right-hand throw, creating space. And this is an experienced man. Carl Murray has done the circuit for years and years and years. He's someone he knows at the right time to score, supports his players well, and it's great to see him back on the circuit.
Guedes just unable to add the extras there. Carl Murray, born in Whangarei in New Zealand. He's played 22 test matches and 15s for Portugal. And he's come up with a really important try there to get his team within 7 points.
Going back to possession, this kick is vital. Esteves is like a magnet to the ball. He flies into contacts, rides the people trying to be lifted, and usually bats the ball back towards his men.
Looks like Murray might be coming off here. Yep. Yes, he is. Bit of an injury in the act of scoring that try, so he'll be replaced by Vasco Ribeiro. So
okay, let's go.
The physios will check him out, and hopefully for Portugal, he can come back. Guedes restarts play as the time ticks down in this first half. That one has gone over the sideline, but it's off a Russian hand, so Portugal will have the line out. And another chance here in this crucial match in the overall series standings to try and score some more points before the break.
2 by 2.
Portuguese line out 30 metres out from the Russian line. They secure possession. Big long cutout pass out to Fernandez. Fernandez steps and runs at the Russian defence. And they win the penalty decision. Portugal go quickly. Here's Appleton. Appleton off to Mendes. Mendes a big man. He
Advantage over.
commits a couple of defenders, and Portugal now on the near side here. A little show and a go there from Guedes. And Guedes off to Moreira. And Duarte Moreira has scored in the corner for Portugal. And with a kick to come, they could tie this one up before half-time.
The clinical play in Moreira, but for me, look at this, Guedes, a little magician. Show ball, one hand, flick pass inside. Moreira is a potent finisher, 35 tries he's got in the World 7 Series. That's no mean feat for a Portuguese player. That's fantastic finish from him there, but what work from Guedes. He really is a little magician.
Crucial conversion coming up here for Nuno Guedes. He's hit it cleanly, it's heading towards the post, but just falls a little bit short. So the gap will remain at 2 points, but a really good comeback there from Portugal in that first half after conceding 2 tries. They have hit back, and we've got a 2-point ball game between Portugal and Russia.
Заставьте их двигаться. Мяч владели, заставили двигаться, положили 2 попытки. Забрать надо обратно мяч.
A intenção que fazemos neste momento, eles estão mortos e nós estamos cansados um bocado porque devemos muito a defender. Eles morreram na segunda parte. Temos a bola na mão, não interessa pouco. Jogamos a um lado, jogamos ao outro, com paciência. Com paciência.
Portugal coach Antonio Aguilar, he played 84 times for the Portugal 15-a-side team, full-back winger. He must be very pleased with how his team came back into that game, Rob Bickerman, after being 2 tries down.
And that's what you get with this Portuguese team. They do have a lot of spirit, they've got some experienced players, and you throw in the likes of Estevez and Mueri, out-and-out finishers, things can happen. I like the look of Guedes, I want to see him on the ball more. They've got the likes of Pedro Leal and Bello, who are also playmakers on the bench that can come and step it up. And I think now, you know, Russia have to start to mix it up themselves a little bit, bring on Babayev, the brother of Mikhail, so Ilya, in himself is a very good playmaker. I want to see him on, try and do a little few things as well.
The pensive face of Andrei Sorokin, the Russian head coach. They went out to that 12-0 lead, but he's got a game on his hands here. Nuno Guedes kicks over here to the near side, and underneath it is Herman Davidov, the Russian captain. Sozonov sends a loose pass across field, and Estevez is onto it, chips it through. Dangerous stuff from Russia in their own 22. Estevez put to ball and just ran over the end line, fortunately for Russia there.
Yeah, option.
Estevez tends to sniff out any opportunity. So charismatic in this Portuguese team. If he is on song, Portugal play well. Need to see more of him.
Interestingly, they've gone for the option of the scrum here, Russia.
I've never seen treatment to a tongue before in a game, I must say.
Few working repairs for both teams on the sidelines. Physios, medical staff, they have to work so hard at these events, don't they, Rob? So attritional, this game.
It isn't usually against Russia, particularly so.
So Russia lead this game by 2 points. 2 tries each. Roshin's out there, as is Filatov, who makes some yards. And they've won a penalty here, Russia, so they'll have a chance to clear their lines, win some more territory, and try and launch another attack. Interestingly, Rob, they had the option there, Russia, after the ball was kicked over the end line, of the 22 or the scrum. And I guess possession's so key in sevens. Is that the right call, going for the scrum every time there?
Well, the perception is if you have a restart at 22, you're kicking the ball away, as you see with 15s quite often. But for me, it's just like a restart. If you're a team that take the restart on the 22, you're more than likely going to get the ball back if you're well versed in practice. Then, fortunately, I would say that there's not a lot of time spent on 22-metre restarts because they seldom happen in sevens.
Substitution coming on for Russia, and it's the big number 11 there. He is Denis Simplikevich. Put in a huge shift against New Zealand earlier on this morning. And can he make the difference here for Russia as they win the line out and the ball comes in Simplikevich's direction, but the pass is just a little bit forward, and those fine margins, Rob. Simplikevich looked like he was in a bit of space there.
Yeah, and he does not need much space, although he does take up quite a lot of it himself. He's a big man. You get him the ball, he'll do the rest, and that was the sole task for Russia. Unfortunately, they failed in that request.
I just need to remind you to keep your foot down. Keep your foot down. Yeah.
Another look at the pass here. Did they get that right?
Didn't know. If you watch the technicality of it, his hand slightly drifted away. If you finish your pass with a real punchy hand point, tends to mean the ball goes exactly where you want to.
Okay, 9.
So Portugal win possession from the scrum. Thiago Fernandez. Bit of a loose pass, but another loose pass, and that's gone over the sideline. So Russia with the forward pass, and just a couple of loose balls there from Portugal, gifting possession back to the Russians.
Double bubble.
7.
Don't back up an error with another error. You've got to make sure your next task is absolutely on point, and there it wasn't. Finally, we've seen Babayev come on. I think he is someone that can really show some impact for this Russian team.
So Roman Roshin will feed this line out, but it's not straight. So error upon error here from both sides, and now Portugal will have a chance. Can they get it right?
Scrum line out.
Bigger picture here, Rupert. We talk a lot about coordination status and what it means to these teams. It's professionalism, and that means spending time on key skills, key restart functions like line-out, like the scrum, and like actually just general skills of passing. That's where these two teams perhaps struggle on the wider circuit.
It's also a pretty tense situation, isn't it, Rob? Both these teams fighting for their coordination status this season. They know how important this game is, and perhaps they're tensing up a little under pressure as Portugal have a chance to launch an attack against Russia. Simplikavic and Babayev do the defensive work, and look at Denis Simplikavic. He's held up the Portuguese player there, and now he's drifting him towards the touchline, and just the power and strength of Simplikavic has won the ball there, and now Russia have it back. 12-10 they lead Russia. It's been a long couple of days here for both these teams. Fatigue starting to show. And here's Simplikavic once again. Good defence there though from the Portuguese, driving the big Russian back. Really excellent work there from Vasco Ribeiro.
Sliding past.
But the penalty decision goes to Russia. In from the side is the call, and referee Ben Krause will call them back to take it from the mark.
And they're moments that really showcase passion. Moving Simplikavic like that is like moving a wardrobe. He really is a unit. Good defence, but sadly not quite on point at the breakdown, giving the penalty away. Again, look for them trying to get Simplikavic into a little bit of space.
I passed him in the corridor earlier today, and I thought there's two of him coming towards me. He is a big man, Simplikavic, and unfortunately his team have come up with another error there. So the score remains the same as it was at half-time, 12 points to 10, 2 tries each, and neither side seem to be able here, Rob Bickerman, in this second half to keep the ball.
No, focus on core skills, and sadly at this point they're not up to it. But look at this hit here, that is some effort. You know, talk about David and Goliath. He's not a big man, but picked up Simplikavic and thrown him backwards.
Yeah, excellent technique from Vasco Ribeiro in that tackle. Here comes Portugal. They try the chip and chase. Can this work? Oh, the bounce isn't kind for them though, and Russia will form a ruck and try and restart play from their own 22, but the ball has gone
in touch
over the sideline, and the touchy there says it's gone off a Portuguese hand, so Russia will have a chance to throw into the line-out.
10.
So Carl Murray comes back on, the number 5 for Portugal. Thiago Fernandez takes a breather, so we thought Murray might have had an injury in the act of scoring that try in the first half, but he's obviously shaken that off, and he could make a big difference here as Russia have the line out deep in their own territory. But they have won the ball. That one was straight. The ball heads over to you-know-who, Simplikavic. Using some footwork on that occasion, avoiding the tackle. And a bit of space here for Russia. This is Davidov again, the captain. Plays a lot of minutes, Davidov. Showing good fitness levels in this game. And Roshin passes off the deck. Simplikavic with a long pass to his right. Portuguese defence holds firm again. Pretty much all this half's just happened in this halfway line area, as both defences are holding firm. Still 12-10 to Russia, 30 seconds to go in this second half. If they keep the ball here, they might be able to see this one out, the Russians. Gayson sends it across to Filatov, and here's Simplakevich. Simplakevich stands in the tackle. Gayson gives it over to his winger, and the Russians are in again. And it's Ilya Babayev with the try that seals it.
We mentioned about the impact Babayev can have, and that's what you get, but it all comes from the fact that Simplakevich absorbs defenders, almost swamps them, gets the ball free, creating space for outside men. Give Babayev a chance. He's got some good feet, he's got a bit of pace, and got on the outside quite well.
Well, you just felt, Rob Bickerman, that in this game, if Russia could